guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Mental Health with Alana. If you're new here, please press the red subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and also press the bell notification so you know every time I post a video. If you like, I have a business called Care Boxes by Alana. I sell sensory boxes for your mental health. I'll put a picture of my Instagram up on my screen. If you wish to purchase one, please send me a DM and I can arrange that for you. I also have started up a GoFundMe page. Now, I wasn't really gonna do this, but one of my followers on Instagram suggested that I do it. I've created a GoFundMe page to save up to get an electric wheelchair. Now, this is no pressure whatsoever. I want to make this so clear. I do not expect anyone to donate anything. Like, this is literally just up there in case you felt like doing it. I'm probably going to take 2 years to save up for this wheelchair, like what I need, because it is very expensive, as electric wheelchairs generally go. But I've done a lot of research and stuff on reviews, and I've found this wheelchair that seems to be the best one. On my link tree, my GoFundMe, there's a link that shows you the website with the wheelchair on it and everything, so if you want to go check that out. But yes, so today's video I was going to talk about self-harm. Now, I haven't actually made a video on this for a while. I think the last video I made was my self-harm story, and it was quite long because obviously like it took I've had self-harm has been in my life for a really long period of time, and there's a lot that goes along with it, but I kind of wanted to talk about where I am right now when it comes to self-harm, what I do to kind of help myself, and yeah, just things like that. Just kind of have a conversation about it. Nothing too planned. So first of all, I was in hospital in August, and I was like, before I was in hospital, that hospital, I was in a different hospital, a private hospital, and I was very unwell. I was manic, and then I went into a very severe depressive episode, and so when I went into the depressive episode, I started self-harming while I was in hospital very badly, and it was getting very frequent, and they were threatening to kick me out basically because it was private and I had signed a thing saying that I wouldn't do anything like that. Which is, you know, I'm not blaming them, like that was their stipulations, and you know, and I wasn't following them, but I was unwell. So anyway, I get sent to a different hospital, which is through the public system. Again, in there I was self-harming, but I wasn't really able to do too much. I'm trying not to be triggering, but like wasn't really able to do too much because it's so secure, it's so locked up, like everything's just so locked up. You know, like when people come to visit you, their bags need to be searched, like all your stuff's kept in lockers, you don't really have access to stuff, just things like that. So, you know, I mean, you could get creative, but anyway, there was no way. My mum followed me when I did have leave and I went home. My mum literally followed me around like everywhere. I couldn't even like shower without someone standing there. By the way, I was wearing a bikini, but still. So, you know, anyway, so I was self-harming them again because I was like so depressed and I was like really unwell. And then I came out of hospital and I actually did quite well. I had one tiny relapse where it was kind of like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before I got my thigh tattoo. And then I was going quite well for about a month. And then just recently I had a bit of a relapse as well. Now, the reason why I'm telling you all this isn't just to say like, oh yes, I've relapsed this many times or whatever, and to be super negative. But when I have relapsed recently, like with the last time that I did it, I did actually try to use my skills first. So I did self-harm a few times, so it wasn't just once, it was a few times, but one of the times I did actually go online and use Beyond Blue, which is like an online counseling service. I think it was literally like 2 in the morning, and they're 24/7 like support. And so I did actually go onto there, and I had a bath as well, because baths normally really help me. So I did that, and I had my candle on. I did that. I talked to a counselor for like 40 minutes. I don't know if I did anything else, I can't remember. Anyway, I still ended up self-harming. But the point that I want to make is that that is a major improvement for me, because I actually tried to use my skills, and I actually did use my skills. I did what I was supposed to do, and yes, unfortunately the outcome wasn't really what I intended. But the point isn't really that, it's that I tried, and I tried my best, and I practiced the skills. Whereas the other few times that I did it, I didn't do anything to delay or, you know, contact anyone or use any of my coping skills, which are literally under my bed. Like, no joke. It's not even that hard to get to it. I put it there for a reason. But, you know, in those moments, I was so set on doing it that I didn't care. I didn't want to go do the skills, because look, doing the skills is hard. It's hard to resist an urge to do something, and what really helps in these situations is delay. So give yourself like a 10-minute time frame, because that's like your window. I think it's like 7 minutes is your most impulsive like window of time. So once you get past that, you can kind of start to think a little bit more, and it helps you make more decisions. Number 2, what I would say is to either get rid of the stuff that you have, which I had actually done, but unfortunately I stumbled across some other things. But try to keep your house completely free of like whatever you're using. Or have, if it's an item that you need to use for other things, maybe if you live with like a partner, or if you have like a family member or something, they can keep hold of it, and then you just use it when you need it and then give it back to them type thing. Another thing is obviously what I was talking about, where you can reach out to free online counselling. You can use Beyond Blue. eHeadspace is really great if you're a young person. Lifeline, I don't like Lifeline personally. I've used it a few times, and unfortunately it was actually the worst mental health online counselling service I've ever used, which is tragic because they promote it everywhere. But maybe you'll have a better experience than me. There's Suicide Callback. Look, all of these places are listed within my down box down below. I list the whole thing, like all these resources. I think I even have a link for resources outside of Australia. So yeah, you can literally just look on go on the internet and type in like free mental health like crisis counseling or something like that. And you don't have to call, you can just do like a text thing. I normally just text. Once or twice I've emailed them because it was a big issue and I felt like I couldn't explain it all in like a text form. And once I have rung one service, and they were really helpful. So doing that is a great thing. Then there's the whole using your distraction as sensory box, which is really important. Mine has a bunch of things in it. If you want to see the video, I'll link it in the card. I made a whole video going through what's in my box, and that's why it's really great to get sensory boxes like what I'm selling at the moment, is because those things in the box are going to help you when you're in these crisis times, and they're skills and things that you can use. Another thing is that you could reach out to a friend. Obviously for me, like, that wasn't very viable. It was literally 2 in-the-morning, and a lot of my friends are going through quite severe mental health problems themselves and are struggling with very similar things. So I never want to put too much on them or be triggering in any way. So I usually decide against doing that. So yeah, but if you do have a friend that you really trust or something, like, I totally go for it. You know, so obviously, like, I never really seem to get past this about 2-3 month mark of being self-harm free, no matter how hard I try. And like, often I'm trying like super hard, and I don't know why I hit that barrier. But you know, I think like, so I have to see my caseworker soon, and I'm like freaking out because I'm like, great, this is not going to go well. She like, I am not saying that this is not a serious issue, but for my case, I have been engaging in this behavior since I was 13, actually even when I was a kid, but it was just a bit different. So this has been a long standing issue with me, and it's been very chronic, and so, like, medical professionals, they were all aware of it. I know when things are looking infected, I know when I need to go to emergency, whatever, right? I know all that. I've had a lot of experience with this. I know when something doesn't look right, or whether there's an emergency or whatever. The thing is that I kind of just look at it, my perspective now is, okay, I worked really hard and I got through a month. That's great. That's so good. I tried to use my skills that one time. That's really great. I'm really proud of myself. Yes, I may have relapsed and self-harmed a couple times after that, but you know what? That's okay. I'm just gonna keep on trying, and that's all I can do. I take the pressure off myself and I don't say, I am gonna completely stop doing this forever now, because that just isn't realistic. It's been in my life for such a long time, and yes, it is desperately something I want to completely get out of my life, but I'm on the right track, and it's just gonna take time, because that's a lot of years. I'm nearly 25. That's a lot of years of, and when I used to, you know, self-harm, it was so frequent. It was just all the time. So for me to get from there to now, where it may be like a month, and maybe 2 months, and maybe 3 months, for me to get to like that point is actually really a big improvement for me, and I actually feel quite proud of myself. And it might sound a little bit weird, but anyway, those are just the things I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope that maybe you can find some of those resources helpful, some of the tips. They're kind of basic, but I just feel like those are the things that help me. So, you know, that's what I do. But yeah, so I hope you guys are all well, stay safe, and if you have any questions, leave it down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!